future bright for them?
I hope so. I hope so. They have a lot of karma, thank God.
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again next Friday at 9, 8 Central. And, of course, I'll see you each weeknight for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt for all of us at NBC News. Good night.
For Dateline Premium, subscribe now on Apple Podcasts.
On our broadcast tonight, the FBI is warning of potential threats to the midterm election. We'll explain what they're monitoring. Plus, multi-million-dollar improvements are coming to Rhinelander. We'll have more details about what areas will be receiving some upgrades. And it's Friday Night Blitz. We'll have the highlights from games across the area as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Jeff Weller.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. The federal government has issued a stark warning about potential threats to the midterm election and the possibility of violence afterwards. Friday, several agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, warned violent extremists unhappy with election results may act. The government sent its intelligence assessments to state and local officials. They admit it does not have any credible evidence of a specific attack. Election leaders and federal agencies are also on high alerts for any hacks. Sources say unidentified hackers sent phishing emails to election board workers in the Midwest. Authorities say they stopped that attempted breach. A Wisconsin appeals court is refusing to block a ruling banning the practice known as ballot spoiling. Ballot spoiling allows voters who already submitted an absentee ballot to void it and vote again. The 2nd District Court of Appeals decided Thursday against hearing an appeal in a Waukesha County Circuit Court judge's ruling. The bipartisan Wisconsin Elections Commission scheduled an emergency meeting for Friday afternoon to react to the ruling, which comes less than 2 weeks before the November 8th election. As of Friday, more than 490,000 ballots have been cast, either by mail or in person, according to the Election Commission. It was a beautiful day. Jeff, what's in store for us this weekend?
So nice today. Temperatures in the 50s, lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, same thing, but we're going for 60, though, tomorrow and also on Sunday. Let's go outside now and check on the high temperatures today. They were nice, right? Temperatures hanging out in the 50s, low 60s. That reading in Rhinelander is not accurate. It was not 44 today in Rhinelander. But overall, you get the idea. Warmer temperatures out there today, even warmer temperatures in store for us for tomorrow. Right now, we're at Arbor Vitae, 44. Manchester Waters, 41, 39 for Point, so it's cool. It will not be as cool as it was last night, with temperatures hanging out in the low to mid 30s tonight. All right, lots of clear skies out there today, pretty much all day long, right? Lots of clear skies. That'll be the case for us tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. There's a little something over here. It could bring us a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow. Overall, though, the storm track is well to our north, so we stay dry most likely through the weekend and into the middle portions of next week. Our forecast, though, tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, low temperatures down near 35. Your full forecast coming up. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. Charges were filed Thursday against the man who was the subject of a manhunt in Chippewa County in September. Chad Mishka of Wausau faces 7 felonies and 2 misdemeanors after leading police on a high-speed chase. The chase ended after Mishka crashed into 2 vehicles on Highway 29, sending 1 person to the hospital with multiple broken bones. Mishka then fled the scene and was believed to be armed and dangerous. He then stole a semi-truck from a parking lot and drove it back to Wausau, where he turned himself in the next day. Mishka will be in court on November 1st. Police are looking for a Wausau woman living in D.C. who has gone missing. Taylor Hackle is a Wausau native and a graduate of UW La Crosse. She was reported missing on Wednesday after being last seen Monday near the National Basilica. Hackle is about 5'4" and 130 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a tan sweater, white shirt, and black pants. The Metropolitan Police Department is seeking the public's assistance in locating Hackle. If you drive around the city of Rhinelander, you may see infrastructure that is in need of improvements like potholes on roads. But next spring, the city will be under some serious road work. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdul Kawi explains the big projects that are in the works.
So this is the first step in us fixing our roads in Rhinelander.
2022 is coming to an end, but that's not stopping the city of Rhinelander and Mayor Chris Hannes from planning out new projects for 2023.
You know, we're looking to do roughly about $13 million of capital improvements on our water utilities and roads for starting next spring. Hopefully, if we get contractors to bid on it and give us a pretty good price.
Oneida Avenue, Courtney Street, and King Street are some of the roadways that need improvement. This project will be funded by grants and loan funding.
Well, this isn't really going to completely affect the taxpayers. You know, we're not raising your taxes to fix the roads. We're finding a way to pay for the roads what already you contribute to the city.
Hannes believes fixing roadways remains of top priority.
Having roads that when people come into our community for either vacation or to go to the hospital or just to buy stuff they need to improve their house or their cottage, you got to be able to do that. So that's why investing in our roads is crucial.
Road construction may be an eyesore for some drivers. However, Mayor Hannes hopes it'll pay off in the future.
If this does all happen, there's going to be a lot of road construction. It's going to be a lot of headache during the time of, but once it's done, we're going to have 15 to 20 years of those roads being great for our community.
Reporting in Rhinelander, Mohammed Abdulkawi, Newswatch 12.
The city's hoping to get the construction bids back and awarded by January 2023 at the latest. Honor guards across the country presented at military funerals, providing deceased veterans the honor they deserve. The Northwoods Honor Guard is getting a boost in funding. A new donation will help them travel to their marching events. Recently, the Honor Guard has received a couple of donations from the community recognizing the work they've done. Today, a $1,000 private donation from a family in Eagle River was presented to the group at RE/MAX.
They put a lot of time and effort and time away from their families to do these services, Honor Guard and Color Guard as well. So we're very appreciative and wanted to say thanks.
The money will go towards a bus for their gigs. That way they don't have to take an army of cars and carry the equipment and passengers.
And this gives us an ability to continue to do that, continue that service, continue that obligation we took, and that's why we do what we do.
The commander of the Northwoods Honor Guard says this will provide everything they need to get from point A to point B. The U.S. Border Patrol encountered a record number of migrants at the border this year. And the Trump Organization tax fraud trial is one step closer to starting. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
As an Army commander, I serve God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor. You heard the jingle man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBV.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Oh, boy, would you look at that field goal he kicked right there?
That looks fantastic. Boy, it looks like you need to stop at Tomahawk Furniture and Guns.
Furniture and guns?
Now, they've got everything you need at great prices. Recliners, sofas, mattresses.
And guns?
All right, you made it. The last weekend in October is here. It's not going to feel like it with temperatures near 60 pretty much all week long next week as well. Today, though, look at this. Lots of clear skies out there. Gorgeous day. plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 50s, a light south breeze. We'll do it all over again tomorrow, and then even warmer conditions getting in here probably Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Right now, we're at 44 in Eagle River, 46 for Ladysmith. It's comfortable out there, 35 in Diamond Lake. We've had worse for sure on this date, but overall, temperatures bottoming out in the low to mid 30s for lows tonight. All right, so there's still some warmer temperatures across the plains, still 50s at this hour across the plains in late October. That's not normal, but that's the air moving our way, and it's just not moving anywhere, right? So it's going to stay with us once it gets here tomorrow through the weekend and beyond, as the really cold stuff is going to stay way up here by Hudson Bay. The jet stream is going to go right across our northern tier states. That's going to keep the warmer temperatures here, the colder temperatures there. We'll get a little piece of this in here later on next Friday, but overall, nothing really cold heading our way anytime soon. Okay, it looks like this on paper. So 62 or so for tomorrow, 60 for Sunday. It's a very nice weekend coming up. And then look, we're going to hang out there for a couple days, except for possibly next Friday. We're talking about highs then back in the upper 40s to low 50s. Okay, so here's a jet stream, that river of air about 30,000 feet up, as you know. It directs things in the atmosphere. North of it, it's pretty darn cold, right? South of it, it's nice and warm. We are on the south side of that going forward through at least the next 7 to 10 days. So we'll be talking about 50 and 60 degree temperatures. Lots of clear skies out there today. There's a little something over here to the west of us. This, though, will not bother us at all. It's warm air advection that will go to our north this evening and tomorrow. We have a dry stretch into the weekend and beyond. Our forecast then tonight, though, is lots of clear skies, low temperatures down near 35, with a southwest breeze around 5 for tomorrow. Look, here we go. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, highs back in the 60s. That's not normal, with the southwest breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows Halloween this year, 61 under partly cloudy skies. Tuesday and Wednesday, possibly mid-60s, followed by a good chance for rain next Friday. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. More than 830 migrants died at the southern border this year. According to a Homeland Security official, that surpasses last year's total. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol has not released the final numbers yet, but the official figure is likely higher. Migrants often face treacherous terrain when crossing the border. Some use smuggling organizations that might abandon them in a remote or dangerous area. U.S. Border Patrol encountered more than 2 million migrants in 2022. That's the most recorded in any fiscal year. The jury was seated Friday in the criminal tax fraud and grand larceny trial against the Trump Organization. The panel includes 8 men and 4 women. 6 others were chosen as alternates. Former President Donald Trump is not a defendant in the case. He is not expected to be implicated in any wrongdoing. 2 Trump Organization entities, Trump Corporation and the Trump Payroll Corps, were also indicted in the alleged scheme. Opening statements are set to begin on Monday. The Dow Jones may be having its best October ever after a big day today. The Dow's on track for its best monthly performance since January 1976, when it rose 14.4%. According to Dow Jones market data, to clinch its best October ever, it only needs to hang on to the month-to-date gain of 10.65% by the time the U.S. market closes on Monday. The Dow is still in a bear market and remains down more than 10% for the year-to-date. That compares, however, with year-to-date losses of 18% for the S&P 500 and 30% for the NASDAQ. The Dow closed out today up 801 points. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
More than 300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But defund the police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One. Spectrum internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest speeds in the nation for smoother surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with reliable nationwide 5G coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yep, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
For years, travelers up Highway 51 on their way to Minocqua would be welcomed by a bridge that read T-Bird Country. Back in 2016, it was replaced, but a local effort to bring back the bridge is in its final stages. Now driving into Lakeland Union High School, people will be greeted by the same iconic bridge. About $195,000 was raised for this effort, including donations of time and materials. The official dedication for that bridge will be next Friday at 10 a.m. Friday Night Blitz is back after the break, but first, here's a look at tonight's Big Old Fish.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Okay, why do fish live in salt water? Well, because pepper would make them sneeze. All right. We'll move along with this week's Big Old Fish. And being somewhat of a seasoned angler, this time of year I think of muskies. And with that said, we'll start this week's Big Old Fish with James Zabransky. Now, he was fishing on Big St. Germain Lake when he hooked a crappie. So anyway, he's fighting this crappie when all of a sudden, bam, this beautiful 46-inch muskie grabbed a little lunch for himself. Apparently, he was hooked well enough that James was able to bring in the 46-inch muskie. And I'll tell you what, that is a big old fish. Way to go, James. Keep on reeling them in. Next up, we have Finley, who is 15 years old. And there's not a lot of information with this entry other than it was his first muskie and that it measured in at 34 inches. Well, that is one big old fish. Way to go, Finley. Keep on reeling them in. And finally this week, we have Dave Zettler, who is fishing the Rhinelander Flowage using a Lake X Little Bastard surface bait with a perch finish. Now, Dave managed to get this absolute behemoth into the boat. Unfortunately, his tape measure and scale were not large enough to actually record the data. So, in approximation, it is a 51-inch fish that weighs in at 40 pounds. And I think it's every bit of both of those numbers. That is one big old fish, Dave. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Norling Taxidermy fish mount is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
Rock Oil Refining is looking for your business. We pick up and recycle used oil and other liquid and solid waste with our specialized collection trucks, making it convenient, affordable, and reliable for you. We're licensed, insured, and follow federal and state recycling regulations that work for the environment, not against it. Let our waste collection system work for you. We can come to pick it up or what option works best for you. To learn more about our collection and recycling services, visit rockoilrefining.com or call us today.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy tender.
Enjoy the crispy chicken sandwich and pair it with medium fries and a $1 any size Diet Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
I was in law enforcement for over 40 years, and I can't imagine a better attorney general than Josh Call. He's a real prosecutor who's locked up murderers, serial rapists, the really dangerous guys you want off the street, and kept them behind bars. And he'll work with anyone, Republican or Democrat, to get it done. Look, there's more we have to do, but the only one I'd want leading the fight against crime is our Attorney General, Josh Call.
Hi, I'm Andy from 2020 Vision in Weston. When I want to check my weather, I go to WJFW.com and check my hometown weather.
Your hometown weather, available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Rock Oil Refining and Sweetwater Spirits and Resorts. Your Blitz starts now.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Saul Meyer, and just like when Thanos got all of the Infinity Stones and erased half of the population, it seems like all of our teams that we cover are slowly fading away. And that is my partner and also a fellow Marvel fan, Serenity Douglas.
An absolutely marvelous joke, Saul.
Hilarious.
About as marvelous as Tomahawk's volleyball team. But it was a good joke.
Absolutely. And about Tomahawk's volleyball team, I've heard they had been on an absolute tear lately, going through everyone they could and have been on a potential state-bound run. Could we see that? You know, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that team?
Well, they are called the Hatchets, and this team revolves around one last name, and that's Scholes. Megan is the team leader, kills, blocks, and aces, and her sister, twin sister, Mackenzie, is the team leader and assists. The Souls, especially Megan, have been dominating the court for a while now.
I started playing club volleyball in 5th grade, and then coming into middle school, I started playing volleyball for school.
Megan grew up in a home where Madison volleyball was watched on a regular basis, so it sparked her interest.
I was kind of just okay with volleyball all throughout middle school, and then when I came into high school and got to play with like some seniors and some really great players is when I decided that I really love volleyball and I really wanted to continue playing volleyball.
Because Megan is 6'3", she was played as the middle.
The middle hitter is normally the tallest person on the court, and you stand right in the middle of the front of the net, and your main focus is to block. The hitter's on the other side of the net. You kind of try to block every ball, and on the rare occasion we get set, which is very fun.
With Tomahawk coming into this match-off as the #1 seed, I asked Megan if she feels the pressure going into the game.
Honestly, not really. You would think that there would be lots of pressure, like for our team, especially because we didn't really expect the #1 seed. But every time we play, I kind of just forget about all the rankings and who's on the other side of the court. It's just playing volleyball in practice and playing with the team, and all the pressure kind of falls away.
So what's Megan's secret to having no nerves?
I really try to calm my mind when I'm playing volleyball. I really try to focus and let other things fall away. Just focus on like the passers in the back row and my sister Mackenzie. When I think about what she's thinking about, like what's going on the other side of the court and what I can do to change the outcome of the next ball.
Tomahawk will take on Xavier tomorrow in the sectional championships in Waupaca.
And that's not the only Northwoods team one win away from state. The Mercer Tigers are trying to win their first state title since 2001. Mercer handled rival Prentice in 5 sets yesterday. Now they face a familiar opponent, McDonald Catholic, who ended Mercer's postseason run last year. Now it's win and you're in against McDonald.
We know everything we need. Coach has taught us everything that we need to know. We just need to apply it to our playing and We have to come out strong, and we have to hit. That's the only way we can win, is our hitting.
Mercer takes on McDonell at Merrill High School tomorrow at 7 p.m. There will be fan buses leaving Mercer High School at 4:45. All right, now it's time for some football. Serenity, our ace sports reporter, went on yet another one of our featured games this week.
That's right, Saul. Thank you for boasting me a little bit. But we love us some 8-man football, and Leona Wabena has a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. They took on Lena St. Thomas Aquinas. Both Lena St. Thomas Aquinas and Leona Wabena came into this game 8-2 overall. Now, starting in the first quarter, neither team was able to score. But let's talk about this forced fumble caused by Hunter Krenauer and scooped up by Brady Shepard. The Rebels will have the ball. Leona Wabena is known for their air raid style offense and little play action pass, and it gets picked off by Sam Marquardt. The Titans steal it back. But moving on to the second quarter. All right, y'all, let's try to get on the board. Marquardt makes it happen, diving into the end zone, making it 6-0, and the Titans are up. They try to go for 2, but the Rebels' defense is all over it. But what a change of events. Leona Wabena comes back in the second half and wins it 20-8. All right, let's talk some area scores. Cadet traveled to Stratford in hopes of moving on to the next round of the playoffs, but unfortunately lost 0-42. Stratford moves on to play Grantsburg. Moving on, Onalaska hosted Medford and won 42-12. Number 1 Onalaska will play off with number 3 Rice Lake next Friday. Wausau West was unfortunately knocked out of the playoffs, losing to Bayport 14-35. Bayport will play Appleton North next.
That Leona Wabena game was pretty intense, I would say. Maybe more in the second half. So I think I might need a little break after that one. Right. What about you, Serenity?
That's right, Saul. I know we only did one game of highlights, but we'll have the rest coming to y'all right after the break.
Child killers, murderers, rapists. Hundreds released early by Tony Evers' parole commission. And they're not even telling victims' families.
Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is open throughout the year. Dine in with a great view of Duck Lake. Carryout is also available. Enjoy roasted chicken, shrimp, burgers, pizza, Friday night fish fry, and Saturday night prime rib. Great happy hour deals Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and live music on the weekends. Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is family friendly and opens at 11 a.m. daily. Find us on Facebook to view nightly specials.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michael's agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Child killers, murderers, rapists. Hundreds released early by Tony Evers' parole commission. And they're not even telling victims' families.
Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. We've already covered some great games, but we're not done yet.
That's right, Serenity. Mosinee dominated the GNC this year and said they wanted to make a deep run in the playoffs. Well, now's their chance. Let's see if they did it. Now, it might not be Halloween yet, but that didn't stop the student section from dressing up and looking scary. You know what else is scary? Rice Lake's secondary. Abremski with the play-action pass, running a vertical route, and that ball is tipped and intercepted. Rice Lake takes over. Ensuing possession, Rice Lake goes triple option and decides to hand it off to their fullback and bulldozer, Easton Stone, and he powers his way into the end zone for the first score of the game. But Abremski and Mosinee bounce back. He hits Keegan Jerschley on the screen right here, and Jerschley uses his speed to run around the defense and takes it in for 6 to cut the lead to just 8. But sadly for Mosinee, that wasn't enough. Rice Lake goes on to win this one 42-34.
Now to some 8-man football. Newman Catholic taking on Gilman. First quarter, Newman's Tom Bates takes the handoff here, gets a few blocks, powers ahead, and finally gets taken down at the 15. Then quarterback Connor Cratch is going to keep it for himself. He runs it into the end zone, untouched. Newman up 7-0. Then Cratch is going to make a play on defense as well. Gilman throws it up. This pass, but an incredible interception by Cratch. He did what? Now Newman back on offense. Cratch fakes a run to the left and drops a dime to Eli Gostinson. This one was all Newman. They win 48-14.
All right, back to Marathon County for our next game between Spring Valley and those Edgar Wildcats. Let's jump into the second quarter right here of this game. Edgar's triple option fakes out the cameraman, and Jace Applefleck runs down the sideline, tackled on a few more yards after that. A few plays later, Carter Butt gets the ball, and he's beating and banging his way in for 6. The first score of the game. 2-point conversion was good, and it's 8-0 Wildcats. Later on in the second quarter, Spring Valley looking for some offense. They're going to throw it deep, but that ball is going to be intercepted.